Hello everyone. Hello there. It is I, Riki Rose, the first. Yes, my shirt does say in Yiddish which if you translate it word for word, it would be I blow you on. It makes no fucking sense. In the Hassidic community, we used to use this. It's sort of like little kids say like to adults, like, I don't care what you say and I'm still gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. So I want to talk about miniseries Unorthodox. You will ask, who are you to be saying anything? Or who the fuck cares about your opinion? And I will tell you, nobody probably. I do, I care about my opinion. But multiple followers on social media and friends have asked me what I think about it. And every time I said it, the more I said it, the less passion I said it with. So I decided to sit down and make this video so that for once and for all, I could say it with the most passion I got, every detail, but somehow right now I'm not feeling that passion. No, I'm kidding. I'm ready to discuss. And yes, here we go. Riki Rose's opinion, in case anyone cares. And if you don't care, don't watch it. Okay, please watch it, because I need the views. So, where do I begin? I think I'm gonna begin with the coffee and the cookies. By the way, disclaimer, spoiler alert. And also, I have not read the book. This is just the TV series. So I have no clue what the book says. I have yet to read it. So the thing is like this. I'm gonna judge this show based on the show, not based on where I come from or all that thing. The show in itself, then I'll go from where I come from. But first of all, the show in itself, the acting, the way it was filmed, how they show you the whole psychology behind the show, what's beneath the surface, everything is, there's so much more than what you just see. Like there's so much psychology, I would say. They show you how all this trauma is built and all this like manipulation and whatever it is, tactics that they use, everything is built on trauma from the Holocaust. It's a cycle that never stopped. It's just a continuation. I'll explain to you an example. See how the grandmother is like really sad and everything is like, oh, you have to have a lot of kids to make up for all the people that perished in the Holocaust. And like so much is built on trauma and constant reminder of like all these things. So you basically see that it's not all, oh, these are bad people and they want to manipulate you and dictate you. No, it's all traumas built on traumas. This is much deeper than the eye can see. So based on that and on all these, the acting, the storyline, the script, everything, I give that like a 10. The acting, oh my God, these actors. And they had some good looking actors, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, so good. This show is not for the faint of heart, because I am the faint of heart and I cried a lot. Another major thing that this show made me realize is that those of us who grew up Hassidic, we all come from the selbe Tschungtop, but we're all a different bundle. In zijn wir alle andere bundelig. Ein Bundel ist mehr zerquetscht, der andere ist mehr ganz, eins ein schwarzer Bundel, ein weißer Bundel. A kleinere bundle, a größere bundle. Keine sind nicht derselbe bundle. This is the mushel. And what is the nimshel? The nimshel is that even though we all have the same rules or similar rules or like the same, the same structure and the same patterns and everything, but our stories are all so different. Because like a lot of the rules and everything and the cycles and the, the traditions and everything they've shown on the show, I was also raised like that and I grew up like that and a lot of us did. But my story is like so different. If my story were to be a movie or a miniseries or whatever it is, it would be mostly comedy, honestly. It would be funny, it would be joyful, it would be weird. It wouldn't be as sad and emotional. Even though, of course, everybody has trauma and I had my fair share of traumas and abuse and all that. But my childhood is way different. Like, I have so many good memories. I had a great childhood. I would not change my childhood for nothing. So everybody has a different story. You could have a show, a mini series of everybody's story separately because everybody had a different story, you know what I'm saying? That's the main thing I realized watching this show. Another thing I wanted to say, a lot of Hasidic people, of course, are mad at it because for whatever reason they think it portrays Hasidim in a bad light, which if you think a little deeper and you look at the show a little deeper, it doesn't, based on what I said earlier, because it's all built on traumas. It's not that the Hasidim are bad, it's that, you know, the whole system is built on, you know, trauma of the Holocaust. And then the cycle continues. And also when people are like being nasty or whatever, it's not because they're trying to be nasty, it's because it's based on fear. It's like they're afraid of any outside influences. Anybody outside is out to harm us, which they're not, but you know, when you grow up a little kid and all you hear from your parents is how they tortured them and all the crazy Holocaust stories, obviously you're gonna grow up not trusting nobody. They show that in the show. And if you are somebody that thinks a little deeper than just what you see, you'll get that it's not portrayed in such a bad light. People said the book was, I don't know, I didn't read the book. Then there was one scene, the mikveh scene, where she goes to the mikveh. She looked really traumatized, and the mikveh lady was like, you know, chopping up her nails and shit. My mikveh experience, my first time I went to the mikveh, was beautiful. I did have a very funny encounter with a mikveh lady. Like by the way, she did not look at me naked like they show. She didn't check me or anything like that. I checked myself, and then she took off the robe. And it was like Puppe Mikveh in Williamsburg. Oh my God, no, what was I saying? Oh, so she asked me, ausgekämmte Haare? So I'm like, yeah. Überall? Like, you comb your hair? I'm like, yes. Everywhere? So I was like, honor hoed off my cup. She looks at me like, what do you mean? I'm like, I did a full body waxing before my wedding, you know? She's like, ja, was veel te zo. Zet er aan een gatsitze, jede mol. Yes, das gonna mikveh. So I was like, well, I'm not planning on letting any other parts of my body besides from my head grow any hair. So I think we good. And that was that. And the rest of my experience was beautiful. I felt like I was in a fucking spa. I felt something, I don't know what it is, but something when I went into that mikveh water, I don't know, I just felt cleansed. I don't know if it's psychological or if it's actually the holy waters, but a bitch came out cleansed. Or maybe it was just because of all that chunas you have to do before, so you're basically cleansed. So my experience was beautiful. Again, I can't speak for everybody. There's a lot of trauma involving the mikveh. A lot of things are like also depending on where you grow up, who's your parents, who's your family, what school you went to. There's so much little, it's like a whole tree and everything branches out, so nothing is the same. What else I wanted to say? Oh, one thing I do not understand. Out of all the beautiful Jewish songs, they had to do out of all the songs, she picked that one. Girl, you better pick another song. And then another thing that I was very disappointed is when she took off her wig and just let it sit there in the lake. Oh, she taking the wig off. The wig is off. Girl, you better not leave that wig in the water. That shit worth a lot of money. Girl, that wig worth a few $1,000s. You could have took that shit and sold it and made some money. I'm questioning your Jewish heritage. I'm kidding. I'm not. But that's what this Jew girl would have done. Just saying. Also, I loved how they portrayed the husband and like sort of like his point of view, how he's struggling with himself and how he's being manipulated also like by his mom. Like when he cut off his pious and he's like, now will you take me back? No, he's so cute. Go with him. It was just so emotional. Poor thing. I felt so bad for him. I kind of wanted them to end up together. I wanted her to be like, stay here with me, and he cuts off his pious and he stays there with her, and they just leave the community together and live happily ever after. But that didn't happen, so I was a little disappointed. I really felt for him. That show played with my emotions. Whew, shit was heavy. One of my favorite parts was also at the end of the show when her mom was outside of the room where she auditioned, and Moishi was coming into the door. And she was like, you're not gonna mess this up for her. And then she pulled that gun out, like, you're not the only one that can make threats. I was like, you better tell him, sis. You better tell him. Yo, I threw my remote at the screen. I lost that. I lost my shit. Show him who's boss. Boss ass bitch. Another thing I noticed with the story, with everybody having different stories, is that the story that they show is that she kind of was living this life. They didn't show like no, I don't want to say progress, but like they just shown her leaving. That was it. Like from 1 minute to the next, she completely changed. Most people that leave the community, it doesn't happen like that. It happens so gradually. Like sometimes it takes years. Most of the time it's like that. For me, it took me a long time. From where I was and where I am now is a huge difference. And that's like a journey, which I think is still going on. Most of the time you don't just pick yourself up and run to a different country. Most of the people that leave stay in Brooklyn, honestly, because Brooklyn's where it's at, you know what I'm saying? But the show in itself, oh, I heard people complaining about the Yiddish, that this is not the Yiddish we speak, and the Yiddish is so bad. Girl, it ain't about that. You missing the point. Yes, I know. This is episode funny, interessante, mina Yiddish. A modna Yiddish. I mean, for us, it's modna. It's like, that's not even our, the Yiddish is so bad. It's not bad. It's a different language. Think of it, they made it in a different language. And just look at the subtitles. I don't know why people are complaining about that. It's like you couldn't find something bad to say about the show, so you had to say something about the language and the accents. Have you ever heard anyone complain about a TV show because of the accent? Yes, probably. But still, the show in overall, amazing. Whew. This is so sad. It's a lot. I cried a lot. So that's all for today. Maybe one day I'll have my own show. Welcome to the Riki Rose show. Alright, laters. So, today I am going to tell you what I thought about Unorthodox. Yes, my shirt does say I don't feel like this is the right setting, you know? I feel like I need a professional table with an interview and be like, hello, hi, my name is Riki Rose. I grew up ultra-orthodox. I need a different setting. What is wrong with me? I don't know. Jai Shangari Shabbos.